Today's video is about a company that revolutionized photography and dominated the industry, but they also nearly vanished from it. But against all odds, they made one of the greatest camera comebacks in photographic history. This is the story of Fujifilm. Our journey begins in Japan in 1934, where they are modernizing rapidly and photography is booming. But there's one problem. Japan relies on foreign-made film and photographic products. Enter Fuji Photo Film Co. Limited, created to change that forever. Starting with film, paper and dry plates, Fujifilm quickly became a major player. They didn't stop there. By the 1940s, they were pushing boundaries, diving into optical lenses, X-ray film, and even military optics during World War II. Despite the war disrupting Fujifilm's production, they came back stronger than ever, ready to take on the world. In the 1950s, Fujifilm took a bold step. They didn't want to just make film anymore. They wanted to make the cameras as well. So, the Fujica was born. Japan's camera industry was exploding. Nikon, Canon and Pentax were all in the game. But Fujifilm had a unique advantage. They made both the film and the cameras. That meant they could innovate at an unmatched pace. By the 1980s, Fujifilm wasn't just competing, they were dominating. Their colour film was so good it was challenging Kodak on their own home turf. And then they changed the game. In 1984, Fujifilm released Fujicolor Super HR, a high-resolution colour film that photographers fell in love with. Now, Kodak wasn't just facing competition anymore, they were losing ground. And then everything changed forever. The 1990s brought the rise of digital photography, and film sales started to plummet. Fujifilm, they saw the future coming. Fujifilm had already been experimenting with digital cameras since the 1980s, and in 2000 they launched the Fine X-Series, which was a massive hit in the early digital era. But even that couldn't stop the inevitable. Film was dying. Fujifilm was in trouble. But Fujifilm's CEO at the time had a different plan: diversify or die. Fujifilm decided that instead of just clinging to photography, they needed to expand into different industries: cosmetics, healthcare and high-end optics, and it saved the company. But what about the cameras? And well, in 2011, Fujifilm did something genius. Instead of chasing megapixels like Canon or Nikon, they decided to embrace nostalgia. Enter the Finepix X100, a camera that looked like a vintage film model but was packed with modern digital tech. The X100 was a smashing hit. Photographers loved the manual dials, retro design, and the film simulations that mimicked legendary Fujifilm stocks like Provia, Velvia and Acros. And it didn't stop there. As the X-Series expanded, then came models like the X Pro 1, the XT1 and later the XT3. Fujifilm began to create a loyal following. Their cameras weren't just tools, they were an experience. With stunning colour science and tactile controls photographers adored. And then came the GFX series, offering stunning medium format quality at a fraction of the traditional cost. And Fujifilm continues to innovate with cameras just like this. This is the X-T5, and they also just released a masterpiece. This is the GFX 100 RF, a fixed lens medium format camera, and it looks incredible. From its humble beginnings in 1934 to nearly vanishing in the 2000s to now being a powerhouse in the photographic industry, Fujifilm's story is one of relentless adaptation. They didn't just survive, they reinvented themselves. I'm very much a Fuji lover myself and have used quite a few Fuji cameras over the years. I actually have only had the X-T5 for about just under a month now, but I love it. I'm very excited to see what this GFX looks like and actually the practical applications for it, and also what they come out with next. I always love when Fuji releases a camera because it usually is always something that revolutionizes a part of the industry that needed a bit of a boost. So bring it on. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Cooper, and if you haven't been on this channel before, this is basically what we do. We look at the history of photography, the future, and everything in between. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. And if you use Fujifilm cameras, what's your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And like this video while you're at it. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next video.